You are listening to Zen and the Art of Triathlon.
Well, hey there, all you triathlon freaks and geeks, and welcome to another great episode of Zen and the Art of Triathlon, the podcast where we help you get triathlon done. Lots of tips and tricks, help you figure it out so you can have fun out there too. This is your coach and host, Brett Blankner. I'm here in Central Texas. It's a beautiful day outside, and on this episode, we have an interview with pro triathlete Antoine Desroches. I believe I'm saying that right. He's from French Canada. And he hops in to talk to us about training and racing and what it's like training indoors up in Canada. Lots of cool tips. A really young guy that's in college. It's a really neat interview. And also I talk a little bit about Dogen, the Zen master, I believe from around 1300 AD. Really great guy with some great tips. He's one of the biggest people in Zen. Lots of great advice from him. And also, we've got the training log, and then also, how about a little bit of news? Here we go. All right, first up and hot off the presses is Garmin is releasing their power meter pedal. They have these Garmin Vectors, and the guts from them you will now be able to transfer over to Shimano pedals. There's a $99 adapter kit to move them from Garmin's own Vector pedals over to Shimano pedals. So if you're a big fan of Shimano pedals, that's really cool. Still costs $99 just for the adapters. But I say that putting the power meter in the pedals is about as good as you're going to get besides putting them in your shoes. And PowerTap actually has really reliable power meter pedals that I'm a big fan of. I don't own them, but I have a PowerTap power meter in the rear hub of my race bike, and I love it. Super simple, works all the time. So check that out. Oh, by the way, did I mention we're outside and there's just lots of birds and racket out here, but it's really nice being out here in the sun with a view of a big field in front of me, and there's a parking lot behind me with an occasional car. But we have these birds here called grackles that are just loud. I think they're named. There's one. I think they're named after the craziness of their sound and the racket that they make. They're kind of an invasive species. There you go, on cue. How about that? Hope y'all can hear that. Anyway, let's go back to some news. And we have Gwen Jorgensen won her probably, I think, 17th race in a row in New Plymouth. And these are ITU, Olympic distance ITU races. And this is a big build-up to the Olympics, which the Olympics themselves are kind of in doubt. What's going on in Rio de Janeiro, I believe, is where the Olympics are going to be held, and they've got pollution problems, and nobody wants to swim in the water down there. So how do you hold a triathlon without a swim? But we'll see where that all goes. Alberto Contador is now on Zwift. Zwift is the video game. We're going to be talking about. Yeah, buddy. We're going to be talking about on future episodes and a little bit on this episode. It's the video game that you can ride your bike on and get just awesome workouts in with. And there was a post where Contador, the winner of one of the Tour de France's, is this guy's just awesome, and he's a big deal. And he's now on Zwift, which is the name of the video game. That's pretty cool. Lends it some credence there. Rachel Joyce has announced that they're having a baby in, it looks like September. She posted the sonogram next to her dog, I think, and it's pretty cool. And let's see, that would make her not available, unless she was crazy, to do Kona. You never know with things, like what happens, and it's a long ways off, so we'll see. And let's see, big support to her. And let's see, in health news, it's funny that when I go to the news online, the last bits of news and categories is like health and science, when actually that's the foundation of everything, and environment. All right, you can't have any of the other news unless you have health and science and environmental all working. So that kind of news kind of sometimes you think should be at the top. But way down at the bottom, there was some diabetes news. And, or as I say, diabetes. And there's three pieces to this. First one, I don't know if it was like announced as a diabetes day or something like that, but it's just a statistic. In 1980, 108 million adults were living with diabetes. And in 2014, so from 1980 to 2014, the number has risen from 108 million to 422 million. So almost 500 million people with diabetes. That is crazy. And why? Well, we're about to get to that. In another news story, 2 big studies came out. And this is, let me quote one of them. People who ate more full-fat dairy were 46% less likely to develop diabetes over a 15-year period. And there was like thousands of people in this study, than those who opted for low-fat dairy. So what this is saying is if you ate full-fat dairy, so whole milk, whole cheese, not reduced fat, not reduced this, not low-fat, not skim, full fat, 46% less likely to develop diabetes than if you ate low-fat stuff. Really, really interesting, because the theory goes is when you say, I'm going to eat carbs and I'm going to eat low-fat, well, you replace the fat with carbs, and then carbs spikes your blood sugar temporarily, and then that gets your insulin all messed up, which causes diabetes. And honestly, you ought to get to know how, if none of this makes sense to you, what I'm talking about, these words like blood sugar and spiking and high fat, low fat, you ought to learn, and carbohydrates, because you will become intimately involved with knowledge of this stuff pretty soon, because not knowing will get you in all kinds of health trouble. And the second study that kind of explains it all is, and this was from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that women who consumed the most high-fat dairy products were less likely to become overweight over time. So the people that ate the most high-fat dairy became less overweight, the least overweight over time. Isn't that weird? And this is their theory. In general, high-fat foods make you feel fuller faster, causing you to eat less. So what that means is if I eat some fatty stuff, then maybe even before going into a meal or at a meal, then that's going to turn off my cravings for more food, and in general, I'll eat fewer calories. Now, if I don't eat fat and I just eat carbs, then I'm going to keep eating and eating and eating to fill that hole. And then the stuff I keep eating, because it's carbs, is going to spike my blood sugar, and then that's going to, if you're spiked, then your body says, I've got extra, and then it stores it as fat, and then makes you sick and fat and sick. Anyway, there's all that. So go check it out. It's all in the health news. It's pretty interesting stuff. A lot of studies are like small and don't have any good control groups, and this seems to be the opposite of that. They seem to be pretty big, and big groups of people, big studies over long periods of time. All right, now let's get into the last little thing that's kind of cool. Is a coworker of mine got this Kickstarter crowdfunded device called Pavlok. So it's like Pavlov, Pavlov, except this is Pavlok, Pavlok. If you Google it, it shows you that it is a bracelet that you wear, and it's both dumb and smart. It will shock you, and you press a button on it, and it shocks you. And my coworker let me wear this, and it does it 2 different ways. You can just say, "Oh, I shouldn't be doing this," and shock yourself. You press a button. You press a button, and then it goes. It does a vibrate. It's like, I'm about to shock you, and then you're like, ah, and then it goes bam, and it shocks you. And you can set the range of shock that it gives from 10% to 100%. And we were shocking myself earlier today with 100%. I did it twice just for kicks. And you wear it like on your wrist like a Fitbit is what it looks like. And then the other way it works simultaneously if you want is on your iPhone, she has a Galaxy, Samsung. On your phone, you can set up a control panel and say, okay, shock me if I do this and if I do that. And I think it's got some gyroscopes to see if you do a certain behavior, it'll shock you. And then also you can connect it to apps. And there's like a Chrome extension that if you surf the internet too long, it'll shock you, things like that. So anyway, I wore it some yesterday and I loved it. I found it instantly changed my behavior. Instantly. Especially because my coworker went behind a corner and shocked me with the phone without me knowing. I could not try to get that thing off my wrist fast enough. But I found that if I was not working and I was surfing, I would shock myself. And then after a while, I was like, man, I do not want to shock myself. So I'm going to keep working. And I got a whole lot more done. So it's pretty cool. It's called the Pavlok. And on ZenTri, we talk about habits a lot. It's pretty cool. Good stuff to build yourself. And while we're on the topic of self-improvement and moving kind of out of the news a little bit, let's go ahead and talk about Dogen. So Dogen was from Japan. And let's say, I could look up the dates officially, but let's say around 1300, maybe 1200, he went over to China to study Chan, or Chan, I think is what they called it. And it was a predecessor of Zen. And then he studied under a master there and then brought back Zen with him back to Japan, Chan, and then they called it Zen in Japan, and then it took off, right? And he wrote down so much of what he learned, and he's just considered incredible. And I was listening to a talk the other day, and it was a quote from Dogen where he is saying, you don't paint, if you want to paint spring, which, it's coincidental, that's what we're in right now. So we got spring. You don't paint willows and blossoms and tangerines, right? You don't paint them individually. You actually paint spring. That is a painting of spring. Zen was big is big into nature as your teacher. If you paint the things individually, you're not actually painting spring. The painting will be dull and shallow and just vapid and just not. You're trying to communicate the idea of spring, right? A painting of spring is you look at a spring scene, the entire scene, and then you paint what's going on, right? So spring isn't the pieces. Spring is its entirety. So you would paint, what I'm looking at spring right now in front of me is a highway with grass blowing in the wind, green grass because it's been raining, because it's spring, and the breeze, and then the birds around me. And I've just eaten a nice meal, and I've got the windows rolled down because it's just the right temperature, just like spring is, and there's little puffy clouds kind of here and there, and there's people out and about doing things, so there's lots of action, as things are changing. There's flower blossoms all over the place. There's Texas wildflowers, which are really nice, and there's the sounds, I don't think y'all could hear it, but somebody hammering on something. And it's the sound of somebody building something, which is spring. You're building stuff. Nature is building. And that is everything together, right? Now that is spring. So in the case of triathlon, we have a problem where we just swim and we just bike and we just run for our training. And that's actually a bit of a problem because you can do the pieces just like, I'll get to that in a second, but you can do the pieces. And then on race day, when you try to put all the pieces together, you don't know how, and you haven't really trained for the whole thing. And so just like spring, a painting of spring is not a painting of an orange blossom and a willow and a flower. It's actually combining them all together. If you want to be successful in triathlon, you have to practice mixing the sports together as a group and learning how to put them together so that you can create your masterpiece on race day. You can just kind of replicate it again. And the reason this caught my attention is because lately in training, I have been doing a lot of bike and then runs, right? 2-hour bike, 1 hour run seems to be just a really nice thing to go to. Because when you do that 1 hour run after you've biked, well, that bike has had an impact on the run. It's communicated with the run. It's kind of lowered your ability, but you've gone into the endurance mode. You're learning how to run after a longer bike ride. And it's very critical to know how to do this. And after you do it a few times, you learn how to fuel for that run. A 1 hour run after a 2 hour bike ride is a completely different kind of run than a 1 hour run all by itself, right? You have you've been eating different stuff, your legs are a little bit tired from the bike, but your legs are warmed up because they have been moving. It's not like you're running from a cold start. And then also a 2 hour bike before a 1 hour run, you learn over time is not the same as a 2 hour bike just by itself. A 2 hour bike, when you're going to run a good 6-7 miles afterwards, you have to tone it down a little bit, and you're thinking about the run, and you're pacing yourself smarter, and you're tapering off the fuel at the end a little bit so that you don't go into the run with a bloated stomach. And you're also having to hydrate particularly well. And then when you put the two together, just like spring is actually a collection of a whole lot of things, when you put the 2 hour bike and 1 hour run together as one big thing, it becomes a 3 hour workout, right? All of a sudden, it's bigger than the accumulation of its parts, because a 3 hour continuous workout is a completely different workout than a 2 hour workout over here, and then later in the day, a 1 hour workout, right? This is real endurance. This is stringing stuff together. And the thing I've noticed is that when you do this, you really come to terms and realize that you are a completely different kind of athlete. If this is your go-to workout, a long bike and then a run, then you are truly becoming a triathlete. Because you're not really a runner and you're not really a cyclist. You're something else. You're a mixed martial arts fighter of endurance sports. You got to be able to do it all. You got to be able to do high kicks and do punches and have a ground grappling game all at the same time. And I can tell you that it works from my own experience. And then also one of Dave Scott's, the 5-time, or was he 6? Anyway, winners of Ironman, one of his go-to workouts was to bike and then run. This is all continuous, by the way. Bike and then run and then bike and then run and then bike and then run, like half the day or all day long. And he said it taught you, when you started mixing them together, it really taught you the impact of mixing and matching them, the impact one has on the other. So on race day, whenever you do them, you realize that that you should really slow down on the bike so that you can have a good run. And you wouldn't know it unless you mix them together. So that's a little bit of modern training, getting its roots from ancient Chinese and Japanese wisdom, and painting spring and mixing it all together. How about that? Whew, that's a little deep. All right, now for some fun, let's go over to our interview with Antoine and Desroches. And he, again, is from French Canada. As you can tell from his accent, I had a lot of fun talking with him. I started off the interview thinking that we were going to talk about Zwift, and it turns out that he actually doesn't use Zwift, but he trains indoors a lot. And he is going to be doing Galveston 70.3 with me this weekend, and so look for him. And also, I've recorded an interview with Brad Williams, who is another pro triathlete, and he's going to be doing Galveston 70.3 with me this weekend. We'll have him on the next show, and also I am racing against Dark Mark of Slow Twitch, definitely not Slow Twitch, of the Real Starkey TRS Triathlon fame, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We're having a duel out there, calling each other names and having fun with it before we race. He's already suggested to me that I just don't even show up to the race if I'm going to make mistakes, like I typically do. And so the Twitter banner is going back and forth, and it's a lot of fun. So check that out. Dark Mark is _dark_Mark on Twitter. So enjoy our banner back and forth. But I digress. Let's get back to our interview with Antoine Desroches. And here we go.
Welcome to the next level.
All right, I am here with Antoine, and you're going to have to say your last name because you are from French Canada, and I don't want to mess it up. So
yeah, it's Antoine Jolicoeur Desroches.
Boy, I would have really messed that up.
Can give it a try.
So you're up in Montreal?
Yeah, actually, right now I'm in my parents' house. It's between Montreal and Mont-Tremblant. Just maybe 1 hour north of Montreal. Mm-hmm. It's super nice to train out here. I live like just close to a lake. Oh, okay. And there's nice trails in the forest to run. And right now I do lots of fat biking.
Oh, yeah.
So it's super, super nice. And now it's getting warmer. So
what kind of fat bike do you have?
It's a Spheric. It's from Quebec City. It's they also make wheels, like racing wheels too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. So it's nice to do like long volume ride instead of like going on the trainer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the reason you're here is I put a shout out on Twitter that if you're a fan of Zwift and you're using Zwift to improve yourself and you're getting good results, let me know and we can get you on the show to talk about it because I'm having so much fun with this. I want to share it with everybody. And you hit me back and you're a pro. And so how long have you been a pro?
It's actually my second year because before I was doing more ITU triathlons. But 2 years ago, I decided to do my first 30.3. I did the one in Muskoka, Ontario, because I broke my hand in Pan Am Cup in Mexico, and like all my like ITU triathlon season was pretty much like messed up. So I was like, oh, why not do a long distance triathlon? And I really like it. So I decided to take my pro card for the next season. And so this year is going to be my second year.
Okay. And what was your race time? 70.
In Muskoka. Muskoka is one of the hard one. The bike is 93K. I did 430, which was not really good. Yeah. But my first pro last year I did Mont-Tremblant, and I think I did 410.
Dang.
But I was like still far from like Yanel Sanders one. I think he did like 346 or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, Lionel Sanders. Yeah, there's a slow twitch thread going on about his bike position right now. And
I was actually with him on in Milton, Ontario, to do the fit with Lugano and Alpha Mentis.
Yeah.
So and we're talking about this. Like we haven't actually started to do the testing, and there's actually already a forum about it. So that was pretty funny.
That was really cool. Yeah, because to get his position, I said on that thread that I had the exact same thing where to get my position nailed down, I had to throw on a 130 millimeter stem on it to get stretched out far enough. And then Lionel Sanders is lucky is that he's not tall enough where they can actually put him even on a bigger bike and get him a new frame and everything like that. So I imagine he's such a big deal with LG, Louis Garneau.
And also he's a big deal in Ontario.
Yeah.
So there was like a camera crew from Ontario and everything. So that was pretty nice experience. Yeah.
That's really cool. I've met him at the bike shop at the Woodlands for Ironman Texas. And he came in and he was going to do an interview. I just talked to him for a minute, and that was really nice. He seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's like super low key.
Yeah. So
super friendly and everything. Yeah.
On Zwift, I guess one of your major reasons for using it was one of your reasons for using it the broken hand, or just because of the weather being colder up there? And
I ride a lot on indoor because of the weather. Because I do sometimes I do fat biking, but like for intervals I prefer to do on the trainer because my coach gives me specific intervals to do, and it's much. You can't do the same thing right when you ride outside on a fat bike. Fat bike is just mostly for my long rides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But especially this year, I'm doing a lot more short training, but a lot more big intensity, like 30 seconds or up to 1 minute, but not much more than that.
Oh, wow.
So I'm doing lots more intensity. Because last year I was training mostly by myself, and I was doing lots of like 20 or 30 minutes at like race pace. But right now I'm feeling a lot more improvement by doing shorter intervals.
Yeah.
But as the season gets closer, now I do much bit more of race pace stuff, so longer stuff. But most of the winter there was a lot of intensity on the bike.
Okay. So how excited were you when you saw Zwift introduce that mountain?
Well, actually, when you sent the tweet, I didn't know that you talk about the pro. If you use the Zwift or anything, I just saw that you were doing Galveston. So I just answered you. Oh, that's cool. I'm doing in Galveston too. But actually, right now I just use a normal trainer. I haven't used Zwift.
Let's talk about that then. Let's talk about how you're using the trainer. So, with the short intervals, how are you finding those better on the trainer than outside?
Yeah, it's huge difference because when you want to do big intervals inside, you don't have to focus about the cars and the lights, and you can really push like almost like 10% more watts than if you're inside, because you can when you're done with your interval, you can almost like collapse on your bike and nobody cares. But if you're on the road, it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a huge thing to do, even in the summer. Even someone like who lives in Florida that can train all the time outside, training on the trainer at least like once or twice a week to do just specific training. It's huge. You're gonna have like a huge improvement.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. So I went out today for an outdoor ride because it's really nice outside, and I think that if you do the trainer too much, let's say you go a month or two without riding outside, you're going to lose your bike. You'll lose your bike handling skills. And for the average person, it wouldn't matter. But if you're a racer, then your bike handling skills are pretty critical. You know,
for sure.
You make a swipe. I'm riding with a Zip 808 on the front, and if I need to be able to handle that thing in the wind.
Yeah.
As I noticed
especially
today.
Like when I was doing more ITU racing with the drafting. So most of the winter, I was doing both rollers and trainers.
Oh yeah.
Because the rollers really help you to keep a straight line and really helps you with handling abilities. So if like in the middle of the winter, you've trained all winter on the trainer and the roller, you go like in Mexico to do a race, at least you still feel a lot more confident than if you pass all the winter just on the trainer. So I like to change the type of trainers and type of training. And also I feel like the fat bike also helps for my ability a lot, because I usually go on snowshoe trails.
Yeah.
So it's super narrow, lots of turns.
Yeah.
So sometimes even like I grab a tree with my hand while I'm riding just to help me. So because personally I'm not don't have a lot of skills on the bike. So for me, just doing other types of riding outside helps me a lot. But when I talk about really like improving on the bike with just wattage wise, trainer is huge thing for me.
Yeah. Do you besides your fat bike, do you have a mountain bike, or you ride the fat bike as your mountain bike?
Yeah, I used to have a mountain bike, but now like all the speeds don't work anymore and my brake don't work. So I just use it in Montreal if I want to go like to the library or to a restaurant or something like that.
Yeah.
So even in the fall, I'm gonna use my fat bike because at least I have like disc brakes, so it works. It's just heavier, so I just push more watts. So at least it's just good training. It's like strength training.
All right, let's take a break from the interview and talk a moment about our big new sponsor, Salt Stick. All right, I love this stuff because I have been doing Salt Stick and a cousin of Salt Stick just taking salt pills, which are hard to find actually. You have to order them from the pharmacy, and then they show up, and then they don't come in any kind of dispenser or anything like that. You have to put them in a Ziploc and then carry that around. It turns into a real mess, man. But Salt Stick has it covered because they are electrolyte capsules that you can break them open if you want and then shake them into a bottle because they're just capsules. I've done that. And you can take them as needed. It's really, really cool because sometimes you don't want salt. Sometimes you do need salt. But I can tell you one thing for sure. Water doesn't work without enough salt. It just doesn't. It's not sticky. So let me tell you about a cool study that scientists did on triathletes. They gave half of them salt stick caps and the other half sports drink, like Gatorade. The athletes that took salt sticks finished a 70.3 race in an average of 26 minutes faster than the control group. 26 minutes. That's absolutely crazy. So you got to make your water stick with salt stick or else it doesn't work. That's my own tagline. I came up with it. They're going to have to run with that. All right, you can get 25% off your order of salt stick with discount code ZenTri25, all caps. ZenTri25. Say it. ZenTri25. All right, and it can be used through the website shopsaltstick.com. Go check it out. 25% off. That is good. Hashtag good. Believe it. All right, let's get back to our interview. So how big are the tires on your fat bike? And how many gears do you have? So people have an idea what a fat bike is.
Yeah, so I think that mine, it's the one I have, is the wheels are pretty big. It's maybe like larger than the size of my fist.
Uh-huh.
And I'm almost, at first when I received it, I thought I was going to push the pressure like I do with a real normal mountain bike.
Uh-huh.
But usually the pressure is only like between 2 and 5 psi. So it's really,
oh my
really
gosh,
big.
Wow.
So, but with that, like you can go on my lake. I can go in like when there's like deep snow. The lower you put the pressure, and the larger your wheel is.
Yeah.
It's almost like a snowshoe. The bigger the snowshoe is, you can go on like deeper snow.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go in the road for just a training, I'm just gonna push my tire the pressure more. And I don't have I only have gears on the back, not in the front.
Right.
Because you're always in trails that is super technical and super hard, so you don't need to put big gear.
Yeah.
And I think I have maybe 10 or 11 gears on the back.
So do you ever run out of gears, or it's all good?
It depends. Like if I go on a super like long downhill, maybe I'm gonna run out of gear, but I'm just gonna spin more. But usually when I'm like on snowshoe trail or running trails, I never really run out of gear.
See, like down here where I live, it never snows. I mean, it snows a couple times a year at most, and it's just a dusting is what we call it. So mountain biking is our version of fat biking.
Yeah.
And I just went the other day with my son for an hour, and it was so much fun. And yeah, it really works on the bike handling skills and all that. And I used to ride rollers all the time. I loved it. I used to ride a fixie as my training bike. I used to do 50 miles at a time on my fixie. And ride rollers. And I remember a friend riding with me, and he said, your cadence and your pedal stroke is so smooth. And it was from the rollers.
Yeah.
I think people, it's like a party trick to be able to ride rollers, and I really think people ought to give it a try if they can. But I've never heard of, like your case, if you already have a trainer set up to actually use rollers as well to improve your bike handling. I never really thought of that.
Yeah, because especially like when I know I have a race that's coming soon.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I have like 2 types of rollers.
Uh-huh.
One that doesn't move like laterally, and I can put intensity. So I'm going to use my road bike on it, and I can do like super hard training with it. Yeah. And it's going to be fine because I can adjust the intensity.
Oh, okay.
But the other one that I have, it moves like laterally. So it's easier to put to go on the bars, the tri bars.
Uh-huh.
But like if you do big intervals, it's better just to do like an easy ride, because if you do intervals, you're gonna spin, and it's mostly just when you want to spin. And like if I know I don't gonna have much time to ride outside before my race, I'm just gonna do 1 or 2 training on that roller just to get used to be on the tri bars and to keep a straight line and maybe go up and stuff like that.
So what brand is the rollers that move laterally? What model is that?
That one is a Tax.
Uh-huh.
And the other one with the intensity, I think it's a Power Tap or something like that.
Well, yeah, because I had trouble. The reason I went to a regular trainer was because I had trouble staying in the aero bars on the bike on the rollers because I was worried that I'd wreck because so much weight over the front end. Even I can ride no hand, on a road bike. I can ride no hand, like one-legged. I don't think I can do one-legged. No, I think that might be pushing it. But I didn't think it was even possible at all until I saw people playing. They were playing like Nintendo tennis against each other while on rollers, sitting up with no hands.
Yeah, when you have the roller that moves, it's super easy compared to the other type of roller.
So it moves front and back, is what you're saying?
So when you want to go up and do an attack, you're just gonna move a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's super easier. Like with the other roller, I'm not able to usually take out my end with but with this one, I can do like a ton of stuff when I ride.
Oh, cool. Huh. That's really interesting. All right. So what is your plans for Galveston?
Yeah. So Galveston is sort of my first race of the season. I did one in Guadeloupe, but it was just more of a prep race. And I like to do at maybe a top 6 in Galveston.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So usually I'm a strong swimmer, so I'm usually either like 1 or 2nd on the swim. So my goal, but usually it decreases. Like swim is my strongest, then it's bike, and then it's running. Mm-hmm. But right now I feel like from what I got from my race in Guadeloupe, my bike has really improved from last year. Yeah, and I'm happy with like the improvement I done on the cycling track with Garneau and Aflamantis regarding my aero position. So I like to keep with the like front pack on the bike. But my running is not going super well right now. I've dealt with like a shin splint injury from the last few months. Yeah. But I'll be happy with like maybe sub 120. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'll be super happy with under like 4 hours for the time overall. Because I know it's quite a fast race over there. Yeah. Especially the bike.
All right, let's take a break. I want to jump in here and talk about another sponsor of ZenTri, Living Fuel. Living Fuel is awesome. Let me tell you about one of their products. Living Protein is thebomb.com. It's a non-soy vegetarian yellow pea brown rice protein with added fiber, prebiotics, probiotics, perfect for your green smoothies that are likely missing a key macronutrient. Protein! Exclamation point. They put that in there because they knew I would say it. They have it in, they call it tubs, but it's these canisters with a big screw top lid. I add it to my workout fuel, my recovery fuel. It is so good. I had the green, what do they call that green drink? I don't know. I just use it so much. I don't even look at the label anymore. The stuff is so good. I keep it at work. I have a healthy fridge at work, a little micro fridge, mini fridge, a dorm fridge, and I keep carrots and apples and stuff like that around there, and healthy sprouted wheat bread, sprouted grains bread, and then also Living Fuel stuff. I love it, man. I also did a long workout last weekend where I put Living Fuel amino acid mix in with my carbs to give a little bit of protein mix to it. And man, it was really, really good. It worked out great. I had a great workout. So go check out livingfuel.com. They have a huge variety of different stuff. Almost all of it has some kind of fiber or healthy something as the major ingredient, if not the entire ingredient. So you will definitely have a lot of choice in there going and checking them out. And they are a big supporter of ZenTri. They approached us on the show, which I'm a big fan of. They listen. They support us. Help them out. All right, go check out livingfuel.com. It's fast. Have you ever raced there before?
And no, never. Yeah.
If it's a normal day, it's pretty windy and it's an out and back. So, but it's hard to tell you which way the wind will come from because if a front's coming through, it's coming from the north, and if it's a normal day, it's coming from the south. And one year I did that race, and a front came through, a weather front came through at the turnaround on the bike. So on the way out, we had a tailwind, and at the turnaround on the bike, like a minute from the turnaround on the bike, the wind changed direction 180 degrees and had a tailwind on the way back, which was awesome. But you could have just as bad luck and have it in your face the entire time, which would be really, that was 1 in a million. But the crosswinds or a headwind can actually be really strong. The coast of Texas is the windiest. Corpus Christi, for example, which is south of here, is the windiest city in the United States. Besides, it's in mainland United States. So you'd have to go to Hawaii to get something windier. So people are surprised sometimes. They think it's going to be a fast, easy course, and it generally is. But you can get the whole wind situation,
Yeah. Do most
But
people use a disc wheel on this race?
yeah, use a disc wheel. It's just the front that you kind of have to watch out for. I'm on the fence about whether to use my old 404 or my 808, and I think I'll bring both. And then if it's going to be pretty windy, I'll probably use the old 404 because that thing handles well. But there's a bridge. It doesn't go up very high. It maybe goes up 3 stories. Not anything really high at all over a really long stretch. Maybe 2 stories. But it's over the river channel, and that is where you're going to get your most wind. And it's a little scary because the guard railing's big enough, and I don't think you'll worry about being completely blown off the bridge. But the bridge itself is a little old, and there's some potholes and some seams in the pavement that if it's a really windy day, it makes you a little nervous.
Okay, yeah.
I have a friend that says he's not riding a deep dish front wheel on that thing ever again because of that bridge. And I remember having trouble with it, and I was riding a disc rear wheel, but my front wheel was only that 404. So I was like, oh, this is a little tough. And then but it didn't bother me that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then the run is really interesting. It's got a lot of 90-degree turns and 180-degree turns, it looks like. There's some pros in previous years that took a wrong turn. Because you know how it is, if you're at the front of a race, the spectators and the race staff really isn't expecting you yet.
Yeah.
And they just kind of look at you with this dumb look on their face as you run by going, which way do I go? Because to them it's obvious which way you go, but you don't know which way to go. So somebody went the wrong way, or a couple people went the wrong way down a street for a little, either last year or the year before, and good racers too. It was like, I can't remember, but anyway, so you got to kind of watch out for that a little. So tell me about your bike. You got a Louis Garneau, what?
Genix TR1. I just got it recently, like 1 week before my race in Guadeloupe.
Yeah.
So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I love that bike, man. What color did you get?
Right now it's blue and green, Super Flash. Mm-hmm. But we might change the color because our main sponsor is a dark green. Yeah. Because I'm part of a team of 6 pro triathletes from Quebec. Yeah. So now. Before the team, they all had the same bike. That's the color that I have, the blue and the green. So we might change it to a dark green and dark. But I really like the handling of the bike.
Yeah. How do they change the color? You just give it over to them, and the factory's right there, and they can just paint it or something, or?
Yeah, it's called the Dream Factory. Yeah. And I just need to send it there, and they're gonna ship it back to me. But the problem is that I have so many races, usually I have races 1 month between each. So it's going to be maybe hard to find a time when there's enough time between races. Yeah.
Well, they'll have to give you 2 bikes so you can train on one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So what do you like most about that bike?
I really like it, how it goes on the climb.
Oh, yeah.
It's super rigid. So when you go up, it goes super well. Yeah. And it's a lot more aero than what I had before at the P3. Yeah. And my fit wasn't right also.
Oh yeah. That's
right. So right now I'm super happy with all the time we spent on the track, looking at every tiny details. Yeah. I wasn't a bike geek before. I didn't know what it was a CDA and stuff like that. Yeah. But now I'm if I change that little thing on my bike, I'm gonna save a 0.1. So
yeah. It's almost as from swimming, right? The main thing in swimming is the drag. Yeah. And by the time you're doing 25 miles an hour through the wind, the drag is pretty significant on the bike, So little things add up. I was talking to a guy the other day about the brake levers on this one bike that kind of point down instead of back on an aero bike. And he said, it's really that big of a deal? And I said, that is a huge deal, man. That is out on the front of the bike. To have brake levers kind of pointed down a little bit is unnecessary. And you're paying all this money to have an aero bike, and then you have these levers right on the front, pointed down, totally drag. Yeah, it probably adds a couple minutes.
3 watts. That you can save.
Yeah. So let's see. How long before the race do you show up?
I'm only arrive on the Thursday before the race,
Yeah.
so it's not ideal.
Yeah.
But like I'm still in university, so with school and exam, that's the best we could do. So yeah, I'm gonna try to acclimatize as much as I can here. Like I do bike training inside and don't put my the fan. And sometimes I'm gonna put clothes on when I do a treadmill session just to get acclimatized as much as I can.
Yeah.
But ideally, I would have arrived like maybe 1 week before or 10 days before. But yeah, I do what I can.
Do you have to like hose down the room to get rid of all that sweat in there?
Yeah, I have like at least 3 or 4 towels for every bike session because like I'm sweat so much.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and then what's your oh, I love asking this one. What's your bike setup? Like, what wheels are you gonna use? Oh, you already said what brand. What brand was it again?
I ran off for the wheel. I'm still not sure. I'm trying to contact like a wheel company to see.
Yeah.
Because last year sometimes I asked my friend who has 808 on the back, and I have an Eastern. I think it's a 70 millimeter on the front. So that's what I use for Las Vegas last year, and it's also super windy. Sorry, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I like a small width on the front.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I'm gonna get, or because I'm still trying to see if I'm gonna ride a 808 on the back or a disc wheel. So maybe I'll bring both and find out like before the race.
Yeah. I've got one of those wheel covers. It only costs $70 or $80, and it's a plastic wheel cover made by Wheel Builder. And so if it's too windy, I can just switch to an 808 instead of a disc.
Yeah, that's really smart, especially when you travel to do races and.
Yeah. If I ever make it to Kona someday, that's the wheel I'm going to ride on, and they don't allow discs, and I'm like, well, it's not a disc anymore. What do you have a power meter?
Yeah, I have the KO power. I'm with Polar this year.
Okay.
But I just received it. I haven't tried yet.
So have you been training with power before, or this is it?
Yeah, on my last year I had the rotor. I had an oval disc.
Yeah.
But most of the races I did, it didn't really work with didn't connect much with my Garmin.
Yeah.
So I was I'm used to race without power. So, but it's always good after to know at least my power, so I can give it to my coach, and we know what we can improve on, and we have a better idea. So usually on the race, I don't look at it that much. It's mostly after to see what I can improve on, and if I need to improve that part of my biking or something like that.
Yeah, people can become slave to the numbers and their miles per hour, heart rate, and all that stuff. And then in a race, they could go faster even, but they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go over this," because in training,
especially like when you race pro and you're like in the front pack in the swim and the bike. I feel like you just need to keep your 12 meters and almost like don't care about your wattage. Like at least unless you're out the front alone. Now it's important to look at your wattage, or if you're far on the back and you're trying to reach the front pack, at least you still gotta know, like, don't push that much for the first like 30 minutes until you reach the front pack. But like if you're already in the pack, you just gotta stay. It's like in ITU, like you're not, if you do like ITU racing with drafting, you're not gonna be like, oh no, I'm not gonna follow that pack because I'm 20 watts over my FTP or you know.
I think you guys are all so good. You all have really high power numbers, so you don't really need to watch it since you all stay with it.
It also depends, like if you're more like a swim biker or more a runner. For me, I'm definitely more a swim biker than a runner. So I can push higher watts and I'll just try to survive on the run. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. But like for someone who's more a runner and he knows that if he push like 10 watts over what he needs to be, his run's going to be like 5 minutes higher than what he can do. So it depends of people, you know. But a real biker is going to just go with the pack and try to attack without really looking that much on his wattage.
Yeah. Do you feel the fat bike, it has so much resistance to it? Like you were saying, it's kind of like resistance training or weightlifting. Do you feel like riding the fat bike really improved your cycling? Yeah, for sure. Like I saw the difference between last year and this year. And this year I added the fat bike riding, and also added more short intensity on the trainer. But I felt like huge difference on the bike, because you know sometimes
sometimes you're like on a lake and it's like 2 feet deep of snow. You just go like 4 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
Like maybe 3 miles. But you push like 600 watts, just slowly grinding, and like at slow RPM.
Right.
So that's like super good training for the bike.
All right, I want to jump in one last time and give a shout out to Amrita Bars, longtime sponsor of ZenTri. Great stuff. I wonder how many I've had today. At least one. I think I had one today after my swim. Oh man, apple cinnamon. It's so good. They have so many different flavors. They have a recovery bar, a maca chocolate. Oh my God, it's the best. You know what? One thing I really love about Amrita Bars is the wrapper is like, it's kind of like a Cliff Bar or a Lara Bar where you can kind of easily open one end of it and then you can take a bite. You can eat like a third of it, just a bite, and then fold the wrapper back over the bar and then put it back in the leg of your cycling shorts and then keep on pedaling. It really works. And then you chew that bite and that'll last you, for a while, for like 20, 30, 40 minutes. And then you pull the wrapper out of the top of your cycling shorts again, down by your knee. You pull it out, work the bar. I'm doing this with my hand. Can you hear that? Work the bar forward a little bit, take another bite, wrap it back up, put it all into your leg again. And then you have whole bars still in the wrapper behind your back. And you just pull them out of your cycling jersey, and they're easy to chew. They're not like this dry, powdery stuff where you take a bite, and then when you breathe in the dust from dry, powdery stuff plus the wind coming in your face while you're running or biking, all of a sudden you start choking on it. Ah, my God, I think I'm dying. What happened? Oh, I wish I had an Amrita bar instead of this. Oh, my God. See? Don't do that. Don't choke on stuff while exercising. Chew on Amrita bars. Don't choke, chew. Amrita Bars. That's my new tagline. They're going to have to run with that. Okay. They also have a club. It is called the Amrita Club, of course. AmritaHealthFoods.com/product/Amrita Club. Go check them out. They have all kinds of cool stuff. And also, the discount code for ZenTri is, I don't know, is it 20% off? Is it 10% off? You're going to have to go and find out. It could be 100% off. You don't know, but it's not. But anyway, the discount code is ZEN2016. Go to AmritaBars.com, AmritaHealthFoods.com actually, and go check them out and check out all the pictures and all the cool kit and all the great socks and jerseys and neat stuff they have. I love it. You should love it too. All right, let's get back to the interview. Yeah, what I noticed on Zwift when they added this mountain, right? This mountain takes 35, 45, 55 minutes, depending on who you are and how much you weigh and stuff, to climb up this thing. Well, the game is realistic where the steeper the grade that you're trying to climb, it slows you down, and you have to actually go harder to go fast. And so there's an optical, it's not an illusion, it's a fact. You're slowing down, so you're used to going a certain speed because you're pedaling, you're used to doing, whatever, you're used to the scenery going by a certain rate. And then when it doesn't, you try harder, right? Yeah. And so I've noticed that because of all the indoor training and then because of the video game slows down when you go up. And see, I don't know about where you are, but it's relatively flat here. So it's nice. It's just, gentle rolling hills. But there's no hill here that takes more than 3-4 minutes to climb up, right? And so, but on the trainer, I can do hills that are, 10% grade and 10, 15, 20 minutes long. Yeah. And it slows you down to a crawl. And it's kind of like what you're saying with the fat bike, right? Where like you can't, you worry you're going to fall over if you don't really push it hard. So you end up pushing it hard. And then I look at my metrics when I get done with the workout and I'm like, wow, I really went harder on this workout than I'm used to doing because of the effect of the extra resistance. Yeah, it's like doing like a sit-up squat in the gym. Yeah, you get the almost same benefits. Yeah. Well, tell me about your swimming background. How'd you get to be a fast swimmer? Well, actually, before I did triathlon, I was a cross-country skier. Mm-hmm. But when I was younger, I did all sort of sport. I was doing soccer, basketball, karate. Mm-hmm. But I was also swimming in high school. But not at that much high level. I wasn't a swimmer who swims twice a
twice a day, like for 4 hours every day.
Right.
I was just doing swimming for fun because I was also doing other sports as well. And my main focus was cross-country skiing. I was like maybe at the national level. Like I was competing in national races. I wasn't in the national team.
Right.
But one year, like in the summer, because we do most of our training in the summer by doing biking. In the fall, it's mostly running.
Right.
And since we live like close to a lake, I knew how to swim and everything. So I did a triathlon just for fun in the summer, just to get fit for the upcoming cross-country skiing. And I really like it. So for like maybe 2 years, I was doing triathlon in the summer and cross-country skiing in the winter. But after a while, I had to like decide because I was doing more intense training in ITU triathlon. So I decided to do triathlon instead of cross-country skiing. And because I just like the fact that you do 3 sports, and also the cross-country skiing the season is so short because the winter is so short. You need to go like train like up north, like and go in like helicopter and stuff like that. That's like when you're like at the super high level.
Yeah.
And so I think like my cross-country skiing helps a lot because it's huge for the VO2 max and like endurance, and also it's a good training also for swimming. But I've never been like a real swimmer. Like most people always assume that I was a swimmer before because swimming is my strength. But that's not really the case. I really like swimming, which is usually not the case with most triathletes.
Yeah.
Like I like when you have the right traction and the right flow when you swim. And but like at first it took me a while to figure out like the right technique.
Right.
And I had to work a lot. So it took me a while just before to become like a good swimmer in the pool.
Right.
But then in ITU racing, I wasn't swimming good in open water swimming because it's completely different.
Yeah.
Even the technique is different. Like you do shorter stroke and you have to rotate more your arm, and it's more strength.
Right.
Also swimming, almost like when you swim with paddles.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to figure out how to swim in open water swimming.
Yeah.
But then I really like it now, like especially when it's open water swimming in the sea and when there's lots of wave. That's like what I prefer the most.
Oh wow, cool. Yeah, sounds like you really have a knack for. Yeah,
I like it. But like maybe if I was a swimmer before, I would swim like 14 times a week. Maybe I wouldn't like swimming that much right now.
Yeah, it's nice. All the sports are nice when you don't do them too much. When you just kind of dabble in it, then it's really neat, and then you get out of it. I think a really great way to hate a sport is to do just that sport, for years and years and years. So.
Yeah, also you can have do a lot of stuff in your own sport. Like if you're maybe like a high-level cyclist, you can do the track cycling competition and also compete on the road. Or maybe do like cyclocross racing.
Yeah,
it looks like super cool, and mountain biking too. Yeah,
at least with biking, there's like different kinds.
Yeah.
Well, running too. There's trail
cross-country
running
season and the track season. Yeah.
Yeah, there's trail running and road running, short stuff and long stuff. And
I'm a big fan of trail running. I do like most of my runs on the trail. But like I still need to do when I have intervals to do. I need to go on the road. But when I have like easy run to do, I always like to go on the trail. Time go past so fast, and just so nice.
Do you have trails? Do you have trails that are easy to run fast on? Because the trails around where I live, if I try to run fast, I'll trip and crash into something.
Yeah, they're not that fast, but I need to. But I run like there like so much often.
Oh,
now,
you know it
so
really.
Like where are the rocks and where are the branches? So it helps, but like I couldn't do like a tempo run on it. But I can do like a fast long run, and it's gonna be okay. And it's so much softer for the shins, and also your just for the muscles, like for the recovery. Like when you do a long run on the gravels or on the grass or in the trails, compared to when you do on the highway, on the asphalt, like on the road. Yeah, that's like the difference is huge, especially when you start to increase your kilometers every week. So
yeah. I've tripped and broken a rib trail running.
Oh.
Actually, I've tripped and broken my arm just street running though, just a couple months ago. That's been difficult. So it's really messed up my swimming. Like you, I'm a swimmer.
Okay, yeah.
For better than out of all the three sports, I'm a swimmer, and with my broken arm, it's really messed up my swim stroke. I can't straighten out my arm all the way. It's really weird.
And just the rib, like once I fell on the bike and I didn't break my rib, but I just like hurt it. And just to breathe when you swim, and even when you laugh, like the rib hurts so much.
Yeah, I think that's separating your ribs. The cartilage that holds your ribs together, the webbing gets torn, and they say it's like impossible to tell if you broke a rib or separated it, because it just hurts the same, and there's no fix for it.
So it doesn't matter if you do like a MRI or something like that.
As long as it's not puncturing your lung, and you would know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, cool, man. It's been great having you on, and I look forward to you getting there towards the top at Galveston. And
good luck you too. We'll see you out there.
And how do people get in touch with you and follow you and say hi to you at the race?
Yeah, so like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, it's all Antoine Desroches, Tri. So yeah, I'm also mostly into Instagram. I like to post like lots of pictures and
cool.
When I'm out riding and stuff like that.
Yeah, I used to think Instagram was just kind of meh, and then it's nice to wake up in the morning and go through it and see everybody's training pictures and where they're running and beautiful stuff. It's really pretty. So yeah, cool. I'm glad you do that. That's really nice. All right, man. Well, let's keep in touch.
It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, man. How was that?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, dude. Well, if you need any help at the race, let me know. You found me. So
yeah, cool. So where do you live in Texas?
College Station is a college town that's like halfway between Houston and Austin. Okay. And it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's like prairie, and it's hot as heck in the summer, man. It's unbelievable. But the winters are pretty mild and relatively speaking compared to yours. And then I've done Galveston like 5 times or something like that. So if you need
how far is it from your house to Galveston?
2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to drive through Houston to get there, and that slows you down a bunch. And what airport are you flying into?
Houston, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's 2. Do you know which one? Which airport?
International one.
Okay, so that if it's Bush International, it's on the north side of Houston, so you got to allow time to drive through Houston. If it's Hobby, that airport's on the south side of Houston. It's a smaller airport, but then it's a real quick jump over to Galveston.
Okay.
So just plan for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Anything else?
No, that's good. Yeah.
All right, dude.
So, see you out there. Yeah.
I'll see you there. Hey, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10". Okay. I want to know if I'm looking for
Yeah.
You're skinny, so you could be 6'6" or something like that. So I don't know.
Well, just spot the green bike, and it's gonna be easy to find you.
Yeah.
The green Lugano.
All right, man. I'll see you there.
Perfect. See you.
Later.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you very much, Antoine. And man, we are in the training cave upstairs in our house. I'm here with a couple of bikes and the bike trainers and Zwift and treadmill and fans and all kinds of good stuff. With a little view outside. Looks pretty nice outside. It's warming up. And we have Galveston coming up this weekend, just in a few days. And I'm going to start putting things together. I've started putting lists together so I don't forget anything. And also eyeballing my new Trek speed concept. I'm getting the 7.5, which is the kind of middle to the lower range model. They make a 7 or something like that, the 7.5, and that's coming into the bike shop pretty soon, not before this race. And this will probably be my last race on the BMC. So, and we'll put that up for sale probably pretty soon, or keep it as a trainer bike, or I don't know. We'll do something with it like that. It's not important right now. What is important is that we give a shout out to donations and people that have sent in emails and questions. If you want to donate to Zen and the Art of Triathlon, you can go to ZenTriathlon.com, ZenTriathlon.com, and on the left-hand side is a donation link, and on the right side is a place to buy Hornet Juice. And either way, you are helping out ZenTri big time. the donation link is just PayPal. You can do recurring, you can do one time, and the Hornet Juice. Something crazy's happened. The factory has had an issue where they can't get out anything more than a 20-pack for the next month. And so we're down to 10 and 20 packs. And so it's a limited time. People are ordering all those up. So if you see if you click the Hornet Juice link and you go through and it's down to 10s and 20s, then that's what happened. We'll in a month we'll have the 30, 40, 50, 60 stuff like that on there. But Hornet Juice is awesome. It's amino acid where it turns on your fat burning, which is a real thing. It really freaking works. It works so well that I get emails from people all the time. I'll read some of them. I think if I've got one or two in here for this show about Hornet Juice, people go crazy over it. You mix it in with your carbs, and it turns on your fat burning, so you just have way more energy. It's really cool. And a little bit that you send towards Hornet Juice goes to the show. So that way you donate to the show, and you get something out of it at the same time, something fun. It comes from New Zealand, so you get the package with all the cool New Zealand stamps. They do a lot of whales in New Zealand. Can't imagine why. And it's cool stuff. So let's go ahead and read off the donations. Patrick Martin went over to ZenTriathlon.com, and he wrote this. Greetings from Germany. Oh, he said, hi, Brett. Greetings from Germany. Just wanted to thank you for all the great podcasts you're doing. And, in all caps, thank you for bringing Hornet Juice, in all caps, into my training. This stuff is awesome, dude, with, looks like 6 exclamation points. And he wrote, because you like them. Yes, if you put interesting punctuation in your emails, then I read the punctuation, because otherwise people don't know. They don't know that you put 6 exclamation points. They may think you just put 1. Just like you said. Oh, wait, no, that was from last week, man. Let's go. I was reading an email from last week. I keep show notes for each episode. Wait, Matt Crehan. I thought those exclamation points looked suspicious. From Australia. He said, hi, Brett. Wait, from Australia. Let me get that. Let's see, how do I do it? I listened to the audiobook that Chris McCormick put out. Taurine, it's good for your heart. All right, hi, Brett. Recently came across your show and have been really enjoying it. Keen to try out this Hornet Juice too. Very intriguing. I'm reasonably new to the world of triathlon. Did my first 70.3 in February. I know I'm not doing that right. And I'm looking towards a full Ironman next year. Pretty bummed that the Melbourne, which is where I live, Ironman has been discontinued. Yeah, that sucks, man. So I'm looking to travel to get a new one. I was thinking about Ironman New Zealand next March. Although I hear the bike course is a bit tough. Man, I can't do the accent anymore. I'm losing it. Not so much because of any big climbs, just constantly undulating. Whoa, that's a big word for Australians. Just kidding. And a rough road surface. All words are big for Texans. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on the course, or if you had any experience with it. Keep up the good work. So this is the email asking, the Ironman New Zealand bike course is, the pavement's really rough. I've heard that. Oh, I heard it's pretty, and it can be like pretty wild weather. So I don't know. But man, if I'd go to New Zealand, and then while you're there, check out some of the scenery. I've heard it's just awesome there. All right, so cheers, Matt. And let's see. Yeah, the thing is if you want to do an Ironman brand Ironman, there's a lot of places in the world where you're pretty limited. I only have one near me, Ironman Texas, and they insist on putting it on when it's hotter than hell around here, and it just sucks. Instead of during cooler weather. I've heard next year they may bring the date further towards winter, so it's not as hot, but we'll see what actually happens. They're having lots of trouble right now with the bike course, getting permits and all that stuff. It's a big debated, hot topic right now. Okay, Jessica Woodruff, who I forgot the J when I typed it in, so it's Essica Woodruff. Peter Salzen, what's up, dude? I coach him. He is kicking ass. Joseph Dieber, unlike Justin Bieber. Super Cat. Super Cat is rad. She's on Instagram and she posts cool stuff. Hi! Exclamation point. Sweet! Exclamation point. Thank you! Exclamation point. Starting PT tomorrow for a tear in my calf. Oh no. PT is physical therapy. But if you're in the Marine Corps, PT is physical training. But should be good to go for Alcatraz. Yeah, you got a little while to Alcatraz, I hope. Cool, you're doing Alcatraz? You're nuts. I've done it. It's crazy. Please keep up the great work. You're very motivating, period. Not an exclamation point. Sincerely, Kristen Castrinos. So thanks. Yeah, Kristen, I follow you on Instagram, and I think I follow you on Instagram. I follow you on Twitter. And you're on my short list of people to follow because you post cool stuff. So thank you. Dwayne Morin sent in a donation. Joseph Rogalski, how's it going, dude? And Daniel Stark. And Houston Marsh. Ken Soderquist, what is up? James Von Hippel. Sounds Dutch. Maybe it isn't. Aaron sent in an email. Oh, this is a good one. Let's see. Thanks, Brett. Exclamation point. Excited to give the Hornet Juice a try. Thanks for the podcast and your crazy upbeat outlook on life. I've been out of the sport for 4 years and just now jumping back in. I listen to your show every day to and from work. It always gets me motivated to get my ass out there in the train. Thanks for doing what you do. Exclamation point. Cheers, comma, Aaron. All right. Yeah, I would love to go around and give talks to people. I guess this is it, my podcast, about do not stop exercising. There's a million reasons why you can convince yourself to stop exercising. You live in a new town, you got a new kid, baby, whatever. No, that's the time when you got to make sure you keep exercising so you don't ever stop, because it's when you stop that it's so hard to get back into it. So if you just never stop, then you can tone it down a little bit, but just don't ever stop. Okay, Matthew Froese, Allison Frutos, M. Webb. I already got James Von Hippel in there. Richard Tragot, something. I cannot say that name correctly. Kypros in the UK. All right. Thanks, Brett. Sorry I took so long to put my first order in. I've been a fan for many years. And now I want to see how Hornet Juice works for me. Looking for a top 3 age grouper this year in Great Britain. In Great Britain, I am. GB Nationals, let's just say that. And finish the year off in World Champs in Florida in October. The hunt for the Red October. I'll let you know how I get on. Kind regards, Kypros Harrison. Y'all don't know this, but I can do a wicked good Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. I should do one sometime as a show. Oh, I lost my people. Where'd they go? Yeah, there we go. Erica Dennison, Spiros Fetsis up in Libertyville, Illinois, Tyler Moyer, and Andrew. He wrote in, excellent! Exclamation point. Excellent! I tried very hard to avoid being that person who ordered 10 and then comes back for 30 scoobs. But hey, it's that good. Good? The season is almost upon us. I'll stop. And I realize that I have no Hornet Juice. No! 3 exclamation points. Thanks, and keep up the awesome work with the podcast. And now about setting up a Strava club for the Zen tribe. Andy, I gotta mention that. And dude, even though I'm a Hornet Juice dealer, I guess I deal the drug. I don't get a special deal on it. I have to order it too, and then I get it. And I ordered some for me because it works. I use it. So if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what else can. And I got a race coming up, and I'm waiting for mine to show up. I don't think I ordered it soon enough because it does come all the way from New Zealand, so it takes like 10 days to get there, which is so cool though. When it shows up, you get so excited. And the Strava Club. Okay, so, and that's the last of our donation emails. Strava Club, we have the ZenTri Ninjas on Strava. So you can go to Strava and Google search, whatever, for the ZenTri Ninjas. We got a Strava club. Last time I checked, we had like 35 people in there that signed up in like 3 days. It was freaking nuts. And I started yelling at people to train more, quit being wussies. And some of them liked it. One guy was like, what? And I was like, dude, you better get on it. You better believe. And also, so that's really cool. So go join that. I check in on it every once in a while, although I haven't today. But it's fun. We can form a Strava club. And then, lastly, before we get into the training log, I have started working on a Patreon account because I forgot exactly the main reason. But, usually it takes like 2, 3 things, 4 things to coincide before you decide it's worth it to make a move. And there was something where I've gotten emails. So I've gotten emails requesting something, and that means I've got demand. And the thing that they're requesting is the old shows. iTunes only shows the last 2 years. And I might be missing a few years, but in general, I've got hundreds and hundreds of back catalog shows. Especially from some really crazy years where in one year I ran the Rocky Raccoon 100-mile trail run race, and then I qualified for Alcatraz, and then I swam Alcatraz, and then I swam across Lake Tahoe all in 1 year. And that's a 22-mile swim. That's all these episodes going along. And so that's the first year that I went and gathered up all the shows, and I've been trying to figure out how to do this because the files are really big. And also we have with Patreon has a way to crowdfund. It's kind of like Kickstarter. You can crowdfund projects that they don't really want to call a Patreon promoter or user. I mean, you could be an artist, but I'm a creator or something like that. And so I create all these shows, but being a creator costs money and takes time and stuff like that. So if you're a fan of something like ZenTri, then you can. It provides a really easy way for people to support it. So I've been wanting to do something for a long time, and now with Uberman coming up. So Uberman is this Uber triathlon that, even though I've done a self-supported Ultraman, this Uberman is a little much because I got to find crew and it's going to cost money. So I'm like, oh, this is a project. And so in October, it's swimming 21 miles across the Catalina Channel, open ocean with sharks. So that's all day. And then it should be just over half a day. But, that's the daylight hours, and then you're going into the night. And then biking 400 miles across California to Death Valley, and then running the Badwater 135 up to Mount Whitney from the bottom of Death Valley. And that's a 135-mile run. At least it's not trails, but it's up. It goes, what did I just knock over? Oh, that's okay. It's this thing's going to be brutal, right? So I'm like, I could do a crowd-funded kind of Kickstarter thing through Patreon. And Patreon allows you to set up a membership, right, to support stuff. And I'm like, okay, after all these years of shows, I've got this huge back catalog of products, I don't know, but of shows, of stuff. And once you set up a donation, then you can... there can be like a monthly membership, and then you can set up things that you can. You want to support the Uberman, the ZenTri Uberman effort. Then, if you donate $5, you get this. If you donate $20, you get that, like a T-shirt, And it's just a way for you to get something back for showing support, and then for things to get together. And we're going to need gear and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, cool. So with the shows and then the projects, like big races that I'm doing through ZenTri, then I was like, okay, this is it. And there was something else. Maybe I came across some of my old shows, and I was like, oh, here they are. Everything's just falling in my lap. So what I've done is I've started uploading shows to Patreon. 2011 and 2012, and I got to make the front page kind of nice and set up the membership thing. And then what I'd like to do is, if you're already a recurring donor to ZenTri, you can just move your donations, your support over to that, and then over to from PayPal over to ZenTri, and then but you'll get something really cool. You'll get free access to all the old episodes, and there's interviews with Luke McKenzie, Jesse Thomas, Angela Nath, when she won her very first I think when she won her very first Ironman, or she won her very first half Ironman. I got that interview with her. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And just stuff as we do crazy stuff. So I'm really excited about the Patreon thing. And it basically, what it does is it provides a membership area, kind of like, I don't know how to call it, a paywall, but then behind it I can put stuff just for people that are members, and we can do the other thing, not just early interviews where I can post them early, and if you're a member you get to hear them early, because that's cool. But dude, there's so many outtakes that I edit out of podcasts because I'm like, it's not really for everybody. But man, if you're a super fan, you love this stuff. This is exactly what you want. So, dude, when I get on the phone and off the phone with a Skype interview, it is some really funny conversations sometimes. And then they're like, "Oh, let's take this out of the show," and I'm like, "Well, okay, But man, so many people would love to hear the behind the scenes that's going on at this stuff. So like when we do Galveston this weekend, I'm going to record some extra audio, and then we'll put it in the membership area on Patreon. So I haven't finished it yet. By next episode, it should be we should have something up there worth. I want to make it nice enough so that it's worth it for people before I officially release it. But anyway, that's what's coming. Okay, sorry about the long rant about that, but I'm trying to sell it. And I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get started into the podcast, the training log part, where I take you with me on all my training escapades, and I talk about what I've been doing and how I do it, and tips that are kind of generalized so that other people can do it and have a lot of fun. And this one, for sure, off the top of my head, I talk a lot, maybe about the Zip 808 wheel, and then also how to swim with a training parachute, a swim parachute that you drag behind you. And since I recorded that stuff that you're about to hear, I've been using it 2 or 3 more times, and I've gotten good at it, man. I freaking love the thing. I can almost not imagine, I've been wondering where this thing has been my whole life, and not imagine ever swimming without it for an entire practice ever again. And it's super portable. It's really cool. So that's all coming up here in the training log. Everybody stay tuned in and listen for some training tips. Here we go.
You are entering the ZenTri training log zone. Huneli.
Hi everybody, my name's Brett. I'm a triathlete. Hi Brett.
I decided it's time I got some friends more suited to my status.
But Joe, we've been friends for years.
Hey, we all make mistakes. Come on, dudes, let's go exercise! Exercise! Yeah! I'm gonna do sit-ups till I poop myself!
All right, welcome to a new training log. Start date, March 30th. March 30th. Leaving the pool, and I've got Kai's bike in the back. My 11-year-old son's got triathlon practice this afternoon, and I got to go drop off his bike so he can go ride around like a maniac. We've been mountain biking lately, and I want to tell you how to improve your swim by using a swim parachute. I've had to swim 2 days in a row because my bike is in the shop, and I need to, there's a whole bunch of things that just needed some work. Bottom bracket needed tightening up because it's creaking just a little bit. And there's severe lack of grip tape out on the brake lever bars, the bullhorns, and the pursuit bars. And man, I had a long list of things. I can't think of it now. Check the chain for stretch, busted off bottle cage, broken this, broken that. Bike's beaten down, man. Anyway, I've gotten this swim parachute. I promised on the last episode I'd talk about it. So you can get, the one I have is made by Finis, Finis, and they come in two sizes, 8-inch and 12-inch, and I went for the big one. They said it's better for big male swimmers, and I can tell you it's like swimming with an anchor behind you, so unless you're a Division I sprint freestyler, you might consider the 8-inch, because the 12-inch is almost to the point of where you think you're not going anywhere. It is real work. It's taken me a few practices to figure it out, but now that I figured it out, I thought I'd share it with you so you can do it too. It's really cool. First off, it's only like $20-$25, maybe $30 after it's delivered, and then you it's just got a typical kind of wide nylon belt. It's not elastic or anything, it's just a belt that you clip to your waist. And I don't know who they thought this thing was made for, like elephants or something. This guy has a ton of extra line in it. But anyway, and then it's got adjustable length, which actually I've never messed with. And then the parachute itself is kind of on a swivel a little bit. And the reviews online were saying, a couple people out of 100, but they do stand out, and it got in the way of my kick. I didn't like it. It bothered me in my kick. And somebody else said it twisted a lot, kind of like how phone cord gets twisted up. And then other people replied back and said, I don't know what you're talking about. And the thing's got a little swivel pivot in it. And I found that, I haven't had any problem with it twisting whatsoever. It's kind of like dark navy and not exactly black. But anyway, what you do is you swim easy for about 10 minutes to get nice and loosened up. Get all the blood going to the right places, because this thing is, it's like you're pulling a water buffalo the wrong way. And then you just clip the belt on and push off the wall, and you figure you're going to start swimming, but no, you come to a slamming halt. Just like wham. And it's about when you hit the flags over the end of the 5-yard lane marker thing. But anyway, and you start swimming, and what it does is, because you're having to pull really hard, you can feel in your hands and in your forearms how to catch the water to pull yourself through. You find the most efficient way to get grip on the water, to get pull. And that is really, really important. So what I do is 20 minutes. You may want to build your way up to 20 minutes. But I would build your way up to 20 minutes outside the pool. I would do 20 minutes on the bike, climbing on the trainer, right? Going uphill in a bigger gear to practice, to get your mindset, you're ready for 20 minutes. Then go do it in the pool. Because if you do like 5 minutes and then 10 minutes and then 15 minutes, you may never make it to 20 because mentally you're too weak. And to do something for 20 minutes, that's hard. So do it on the bike first or on the treadmill, 20 minutes, get a good feel, learn that, you can handle this. And then you pull this sucker along, and you're probably going half as fast as you used to. But because the cord is pulling back on your waist, it does kind of lift you up a little bit at the waist, but not at the feet. And at first, I was struggling with it, and I went and put a pull buoy between my legs to float my legs, and that was great. And then I thought, well, I'm spending 20 minutes here pulling this thing, not working on my legs at all, working on my kick. So I went back to using the kick once I kind of figured out how to pull this thing. Not too hard, not too easy, kind of get a good feel. And then so I took the pull buoy out, and what I've noticed is, if you're I wouldn't say a weak swimmer, but just not that experienced of like full combat swimming with other people, then that tether can bother you at your feet when you touch it every once in a while with your heels or your toes. Sometimes you kick it and it just stops your foot dead in its tracks, and then you kind of sink a little bit. You're like, ah! And but hardcore training means you got to simulate race conditions a little bit, right? So something kind of touching your feet every once in a while is actually good. It's good. You need to be, in a race, people are touching your feet, people are hitting your feet, random things are touching your feet, things that freak you out are touching your feet, things are slowing you down here and there. Things are not perfect in a race, so F it, man. You know, it's race simulation. It's also like the reason every once in a while I swim with my head out of the water to practice sighting, you know, with the drag chute. And so after a little while of that, I've learned that, don't need the pull buoy, and actually being able, you don't want to kick much at all. You want to kick just enough to get your feet up. It actually really works really well. And then what happens is, if you can't do a flip turn, well, then you're trying too hard, which is really nice. It's a kind of measured amount. If you can easily do a flip turn, no problem, then you're not trying hard enough. So your flip turn needs to be your kind of struggle indicator. Oh, somebody tried to whip around traffic to get around this stoplight, and then they screwed up. You got stuck, lady. Your smart move wasn't so smart, was it? Okay, then, flip turns with the drag chute. Now, how do you do flip turns with the drag chute? This is interesting. If you do a flip turn at the normal place that you're used to doing the flip turn, let's say like 1.5 feet from the wall, your head, that drag chute will keep you from, when you flip and then you try to push off the wall, there's no wall. You're not close enough to the wall. The chute slowed you down. And actually, you got to swim until you get your head within like probably 4 inches of the wall, maybe closer, and then flip. And you think, oh, that's too close, I'm going to slam my head into the wall. No, you won't, because that drag chute's going to keep you from going anywhere. Ah, man, it's good stuff. And then it's kind of like, well, this drag chute cable, it's a nylon webbing line. It's going to hit my feet, when I try to flip. And what I figured out is, because I was doing kind of like a little twist and then trying to keep it to my side whenever I went up and over, my feet went up and over, or my, what else? I don't know, but just trying different things, because what actually works is to split, you split your feet just the tiniest bit and then flip. And then what happens is the cord goes right between your legs as you flip, and it doesn't get in the way at all. And then when you push off the wall, go a little bit deeper, and you'll go either under or kind of around the little chute thing, and then you'll take off the other way and get about 2 strokes in, and then wham, the chute catches you again as you try to push off. And man, I gotta say, the thing is freaking rad. So I do 20 minutes of that. So warm up 10 minutes, swimming, get moving, and then 20 minutes of drag chute, and then you need to go back to swimming without everything to take what you've learned and implement it into your stroke. It's very critical whenever you do a drill of any kind that you mix back in just regular swimming, and so you feel like, say you're doing like glide and stuff like that, extended glide. Well, then you need to swim regular and go, okay, now this is how I implement this new movement that I've learned into my swim. All right, hold on just a second. All right, back. Okay, so 10 minutes easy, warm up, 20 minutes drag chutes, now you're at half an hour, and then do 10 minutes easy to practice what you've learned. Not hard, just it's recovery, 10 minutes recovery, and then 20 minutes again, drag chute. So it's kind of like 2 by 20 minutes with going uphill swimming or against the current, hard. And then if you want to, after you're done with that second round of drag chute, swim a couple minutes, kind of see how it feels mixed in with your stroke. And that is it. And I've been training with Uberman in my mind. It's a 21-mile open water swim from Catalina Island to Santa Barbara, maybe. I forgot where we're going to land. And then bike over to Death Valley and then run the Badwater 135. And bike 400 miles over California mountains, to Death Valley. And The drag chute's really cool because it's a lot like running with a weight vest, which I've done before. The couple times that I've run with a weight vest and then run a ultra marathon on trails, the ultra marathon felt really, really easy. I was just coasting through those things because your body's used to the impact of something way harder than what you were doing in training. And as long as you never touch the effort that you had to put out in training, then you know that you can keep going and keep going and keep going, and you just pour carbs on the problem, and you can just keep cruising and have a really nice time. So the Uberman race director emailed everybody. There's probably looks like 13, 14, 15 of us or so that and asked for everybody's swim times that we plan on swimming. And when I swam across Tahoe, 22 miles, it was 13 and a half hours, but it was mostly smooth, probably 2/3 of the way. So this will not be mostly smooth 2/3 of the way. It'll probably be okay, but who knows? But it's 1 mile shorter, and it's at sea level instead of high altitude like Tahoe was. So I just figured the same amount of time, 13 and a half. Tahoe was probably about the same as swimming this thing, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. And yeah, that's about it. So I got a lot of stuff going on today. Hope you enjoy the drag chute stuff, because that is, man, I am happy with that thing. Oh, and the other thing is so zen. It's so simple, man. There's no moving parts. And you just do it. You just clip it on and swim. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, this was the last thing about, because swimming is so much like 500 yards this, and do 350 on a 145 and a two 100s on a 115, and then swim 500 yards with a 150 whatever break, and then for 15 seconds and times 12, and that stuff's all great, right? Because that works for pool sprint swimming. But if you're doing endurance stuff, man, I gotta say, you can throw all that crap out the window and just do intervals by time and just look at your watch at what you're doing. And I've got a Garmin 920, and it is so worth the investment because it's so simple. You just swim 10 minutes easy, 20 minutes hard, 10 minutes easy, 20 minutes hard. And if it doesn't line up exactly with the wall, that's fine. Who cares? Just do like you would do on the bike. You know, you would go 30 minutes easy, warm up, and then 15 minutes hard, and then 5 minutes easy, 30 minutes hard, you know, whatever, I don't know, whatever you're doing. 5 minutes hard, 5 minutes easy, 5 minutes hard, 5 minutes easy. Just do it in the pool and look at your watch, and then you don't have to have these like super complicated workouts to entertain you, all in a Ziploc bag written on paper, printed out, you know, a new one every day on the side of the pool that you have to look at constantly to see what you're doing next. And instead of looking at what you should be doing, you just tell yourself what you're going to do before you get in, and just do it. Just do it. All right, that's it. I got to go into W to the ERK. Got a lot of stuff going on today. Out. Bang. All right. We should be almost done with the training log here. We'll see if we can squeeze it all in. It's Monday morning. I'm driving to the pool, but Saturday, Kai had a soccer game at 10, so I got up early and went and ran 2 hours straight. And with my foot injury, I was a little worried about that, but it ended up being pretty nice. And I took the dog with me and posted pictures. You know, he stopped to take pictures and all kinds of stuff. It's just a real nice, longer run for me right now. Just average around a 10-minute mile, maybe a little faster, like 9.5. Trying to take it easy, not doing any intervals with a foot injury, so I don't make it worse. And then soccer game, middle of the day stuff. Went to Chuy's, which is this really cool Mexican restaurant. And then that evening, went to, I did Zwift on the trainer because I needed to be at the house and supervising 2 kids, Kai and his friend. Emily went out for a girls' night out with the ladies, and that was pretty cool. Just rode some Zwift, and man, you can get in some powerful training on the thing. And then the other lady's kid is real interesting, real clingy, you know, like kept asking me, I wonder when they're going to be back. I wonder when they're going to be back. And that kid is not in Boy Scouts, and Kai's in Scouts, and I've always been working on Kai on being independent and telling me he needs to be able to do things on his own sometimes, and the difference between the two was really interesting. And then, let's see, got up Sunday morning early because I knew I had a full schedule. I've been talking with a friend, my ultra distance godfather, Chris, who's the guy that got me into triathlon and ultra running in the first place. He said, hey, you have been mountain biking with me for a while. Do you want to go mountain biking? And this was, a few days before. And I said, heck yeah, dude, I went mountain biking last weekend and had such a blast. We got this new place that's open, and it's really doable and fun. And so that we were scheduled that for Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. And Kai's going, Emily's going. We got other triathlete friends with kids that are going. Everybody's going. I don't know, like 10 people all together. At 3 p.m. it all worked out. Everybody's planning on doing this at 3 p.m. So now mountain biking with a group of people, any kind of working out with a group of people, unless you're working out with freaks that are far better than you are, then you're going to be, if you're working out with freaks that are far better than you are, then they're going to push you. But if you're working out with just friends that are kind of into it, sort of, and don't work out a lot, well, it's going to be a real lazy pace. Not lazy for them, but lazy for you. And it's kind of semi-workout, right? But, dude, a semi-workout mountain biking is so therapeutic. It's so, chill, because you're in the woods, and it's beautiful. And so it's worth it. It's totally worth it. And so Sunday morning, I got Galveston 70.3 next weekend. So as you're in the interview with a pro, that either going to this show or next show, about 5 days taper, and it's on a Sunday, so I got plenty of time. So this Sunday, 7 days before, I'm doing a big day, my last big day. So I figured I can do 3 hours nonstop, bike and then a brick run, and then hit the pool. Then go mountain biking in the afternoon, and then if I have energy, go swimming in the evening. So it's nice and cold out in the morning. I get up early Sunday morning, and really cold, like 40, cold for here. 40, we had a cold front come through because it had gotten up into the 70s and stuff. 40-something degrees, so I bundled up with a second layer. I've got a Camelback that's like the neon yellow Camelback, and I wore that just because traffic makes me nervous a little bit sometimes. And that thing on my back makes me really easy to spot in traffic coming up behind. Somebody texting on their phone is my worry, then they clip you because they're not expecting to see a cyclist. With that bright yellow Camelback, they make one, a Camelback Rogue. I don't know if I got it a few years ago. It's like bright yellow, safety yellow. And went an hour out and an hour back. And then on the tri bike, just hammering along, having a good time. Took pictures, and that's a way to slow yourself down so you don't overtrain, is stop every once in a while and take pictures. Stop and smell the flowers, literally. And then got off the bike, and I'm trying to get out on the run. Emily knows I'm doing a brick run because before I left, I said, this is my stuff for my brick run. Don't put it away. Leave it right here while I'm gone. And I come back in, and she says, hey, I need you to help me get all these pictures off the iPhone. I need to take my iPhone to get it worked on, and they're going to ruin it. So I need all these photos backed up. How do I do it? And I'm like, I can't do that right now. I'm going out on a brick run. I told you I'm going out on a brick run. And this is going to take half an hour. It actually took half an hour or more. It probably took 45 minutes to refigure out how to do this, because you got to copy it to an SD card. It's just, and I work in IT, so I'm also the family's IT guy, like the extended family's IT guy. And, man, so we had a little argument there, and I'm like, after I finish my run, then I'll sit down and do it. Not right this second. She's like huffy about it. Maybe that's what the Huffy bike brand was named after, is a spouse that's irritated because you won't fix their phone. But then went out and had a nice run and a good pace, opened up the legs a little bit. So, and finished by 11, so that's 11:30 maybe. So 3 hours nonstop, mostly in the morning. And then I had an interview with Brad Williams, and then ended up, why am I behind the slowest guy ever? And then ended up going mountain biking at 3 p.m. And that was super fun. The timing worked out great. We did an hour. It took 2 hours. See, that's the thing. It took 2 hours with all the socializing, but an hour of mountain biking almost nonstop. And I've got this busted up arm where I can't like hold the handlebars with just my left hand. And if I take a big impact, it sends pain. And I'm also weak in my left arm. So I have to be kind of careful. And it was funny because Chris he and I rode together while everybody else kind of did their own thing because he's pretty advanced. And I'm in better shape than he is, but he's a much better mountain biker than I am. So it makes for funny pacing because anytime it gets technical, I have to slow down, especially with my arm. And he runs into the rear of me, but anytime it straightens out and starts going uphill or, where he needs endurance or power, then I start distancing, on him. We're constantly losing contact and slamming into each other. It's kind of funny. But we were talking most of the time. Ended up doing an hour. Emily and Kai and all these other people are out there. And it ended up being just a beautiful afternoon. And then we had a beer afterwards. It sounded something like women doing Kegels. Is what the brand name was. It was pretty funny. And then I came home. By then it's 5 o'clock. I said, let me lay down for a nap. And then I had a small dinner. And I said, let me lay down for a nap. And then I'm going to go swim in the evening. It's going to be a 5-hour day. And then I woke up at 7 o'clock and the pool closes at 8. And it takes half an hour to get there. And so I was like, oh, crap. Anyway, all this weekend, ever since Wednesday, I've been using UCAN for fuel, and I didn't want to talk about it too much because, one, it's expensive, and two, I'm not sure it really works. So I don't want to be promoting anything that is kind of just a gimmick and not really like for real thing. So, especially if it's expensive. But I've been using it for all my workouts. I figured that was the thing, just go all in. And I think I'm figuring it out, how to use it and how it works. And basically, UCAN, is just a really, really slow burn carb. And don't think of it much more than that. And so that's got a lot of uses. Oh, a possum just ran across the street. Or maybe a cat, can't tell. It was a kitty cat. It's a really, really slow burn carb. So, if you're using gels and whatever, and they go high and then low and high and then low, and it sends your body into optimism and then shock. Optimism and then shock. Well, you can add this to your fuel. Let's say you're going to do 200 calories per hour, 250, 300. Well, you could make 100 calories per hour of your fuel out of this stuff. And it'll level out your energy. And then if you're doing a very short workout, like an hour, then you can just take this like half an hour beforehand. And basically, and then you'll have even energy throughout and not need any kind of like simple sugars like a Gatorade or anything like that. And maybe not anything afterwards for a little while. And what I've figured out is what it does is it makes you sort of bonk proof. With the slow trickle, it's almost like you're running, biking, or swimming with an IV drip bag of glucose attached to you. I'm parking. It's almost like you're, So because you've already eaten it, and it's just the super, super slow release carb. Well, let's say you take like Gatorade or something like that, and it gives you a high and then a low. Well, you never go really low because you've got this very slow release carb still working in the background. And that's the way I found it to work. It's just really Because you could do just gels and simple sugars, stuff like that, for a long day, but eventually you're going to get sick of it, up and down, going to create potholes to go into. What's nice is because UCAN is so expensive that you would get to the point where you don't need it during short workouts at all, and then just for the long stuff. And then I feel, and that's what Sami Inkinen said he got to, and I feel that that's probably a good place to be in. You could take like an Amrita bar, which is really slow release, a little bit before you work out, and then have slow release carbs because it's got fiber in it, right? Well, the problem is if you're doing 5-6 hours, that fiber starts to hurt. So you need something that's very slow release that doesn't have fiber, and that's hard to come by. And that seems to be what UCAN might be. And the whole like extreme point of view, just UCAN, well, maybe, I don't know. But if you're doing if you're going hard and you're going a long ways, then you might need UCAN and something else. So it's cool. You can mix it all in the same bottle. That's what I was doing. I had a fuel bottle with Gatorade powder and some maltodextrin and UCAN, and then that way it's a mix of both fast and slow, so it kind of covers everything. But anyway, that's it. Let's see how Galveston goes. It's the end of the training log. By the time you hear this, we'll have a little breakdown on how Galveston went, hopefully. And then, no, I should try to get this out before Galveston. And, racing season is here in North America. So everybody stay safe out there. Work the uphills, cruise the downhills, and keep the rubber side down. Out.